This is Fox 31 Now.
Good afternoon. I almost said morning, but it's technically the afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in to Fox 31 Now. I'm Alex Rose. Gray skies over the Mile High City. Seems a little eerie. We know that snow is on the way, and it is already here in Colorado, depending on where you live in the state. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and just bring in our pinpoint weather meteorologist, Jessica LaBelle, who always joins us like the rock star that she is on Fox 31 Now to answer your questions about this snowstorm that's coming up. Now, keep in mind, folks, we only got about 20 minutes on this stream because our pinpoint weather team is constantly cutting into Fox 31 to keep you updated on TV. We want to do our best to keep you updated online as well. So if you have any questions, Tiara, thank you so much for tuning in, saying drive safe, everyone. Couldn't agree more with that, Tiara. Feel free to ask your questions in the comments section here on Facebook Live, and we will do our best to answer them within the next 20 minutes. But without further ado, Jess, I'm going to go ahead and punch up your graphics. It's looking like we already got snow in northern Colorado and along I-70.
Yes, so just like we mentioned yesterday, Alex, this snow's starting first north and west of Denver. So this is satellite and radar. I want to zoom you in here. I'm going to not loop that anymore, and I will show you a closer look at where that snow is falling. You can see Metro Denver is dry. If you're off to the west, places like Idaho Springs might start seeing some light snow showers here. Up into northwestern Boulder County, we're seeing some of that around Estes Park. And then just south of Fort Collins. So Fort Collins, Loveland, starting to see a little bit of that snow. You can see that little band moving in there. And then north of Fort Collins, really just north of Wellington up into Cheyenne, also seeing some pretty good snow. And you can see some of those darker blues there. That's indicating a heavier band just north of Wellington. And this is, if I back up here and show you the loop, it's heading south and east. So Wellington and Fort Collins, you're going to see that heavier burst of snow within the next hour or two. So that snow really going to be picking up for you pretty soon here. Red Feather Lake seeing snow, Grand Lake, Granby, I should say, starting to see snow. And then we also have some out towards western Colorado. If you're tuning in from Glenwood Springs down into Carbondale, we're seeing that through Rifle, Parachute might be seeing a little bit of that snow. And then it stretches all the way down towards Colbrand. And then we do have some spotty showers as well down into parts of the San Juan Mountains. So again, great to see all of this moisture, but this is going to bring a pretty big impact, especially to us here in Metro Denver this afternoon. And I do want to show you a glimpse at those totals that we are looking at here really across the Front Range. So Metro Denver, we're expecting about 2 to 4, possibly even 2 to 5 inches of snow. If you're on the west side, I think you're going to see higher amounts, potentially up to 6 inches on the west and south sides of town. That includes Lakewood, Littleton, Carroll, up into Golden, Morrison, down south into Lone Tree and Highlands Ranch, maybe even parts of Centennial, picking up closer to 6 inches of snow. The downtown area out towards the airport, likely closer to 2 to 4. You can see those foothills picking up about 4 to 10 inches of snow. That includes places like Boulder, Genesee, up into Evergreen. You could certainly stack up 8, 9, 10 inches of snow from this storm system. So that'll be some of the biggest impacts that we're going to see here. And then the Palmer Divide will pick up about 3 to 8 inches of snow. That does include places like Parker, Castle Pines, down into Castle Rock. We are expecting that down into Larkspur, Monument, and the Palmer Lake area. So that sort of gives you an idea of what we're going to be seeing in terms of the accumulation with this storm, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, Jess. I'm glad that you brought up that Palmer Divide area for meteorologists like yourself who consistently forecast this snow. No surprise that the Palmer Divide being higher elevation is going to see a little more. So, Elizabeth, I hope that kind of answers your question. How much snow are we expecting in Parker? Anywhere along the Palmer Divide, depending on where you are, 3 to 8 inches. While that's a big range, it really just depends. You could be in Monument and probably get a little more because you're tighter to the foothills than all the way out there in Parker as well. Karen has an interesting question here, Jess. Will this affect driving over the pass tomorrow? I assume you mean Vail Pass, Karen. But we could see from what I remember of that radar, I-70, getting hit already early in the day. And the size of this storm looks to be impressive from what we were forecasting yesterday, Jess. So I can't imagine it's going to be easy to get up I-70 after all that snow falls and everything's said and done.
Yeah, of course, Alex. I do want to go over that, and I'll show you the radar right now on I-70 up in the high country. They are starting to see some snow up there. You can see it stretching across that I-70 corridor, really from Glenwood Canyon all the way out towards Idaho Springs. So a lot of the I-70 corridor will pick up some decent snowfall with this snowstorm. And as far as road conditions tomorrow, it's going to be especially tricky in the morning hours. We are going to see the snow wrap up overnight tonight before a lot of commuters tomorrow morning. We will wake up to dry conditions, but we're still going to see a lot of mess out on the roadways. So if you are heading up there, maybe towards the Eisenhower Tunnel, Vail Pass early tomorrow morning, expect it to be slick, slow going. We will see snow-packed roads across the high country pretty much from now all the way through about midday tomorrow. If you are heading up tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting some sunshine. And of course, we will have crews up there that'll be treating the roadways. That should help. And the more drivers we see on that road, that's going to help to break apart some of that ice and snow that's on the roadway. So if you can leave a little bit later tomorrow, that's what I recommend. We're still expecting really slick conditions in the morning. I do think that commute tomorrow morning going to be almost just as impacted as what we're going to see tonight. We just won't see active snow falling. So that's a tip not only for people in the high country, but for down into the Front Range as well.
Yeah, and you're bringing up a point that Francis is kind of making here on Facebook. So typical Denver blizzard for a few hours, then nothing tomorrow. And you know, I would say a little more than a few. I mean, this thing you could see on Futurecast there that it is going to hit the Denver area and just keep going for hours and hours into this evening, Francis. But yeah, we're not forecasting anything tomorrow morning or anything like that. So just a quick comment there. A couple of people are asking about northern Colorado. I do want to share this live picture from our Horsetooth camera, and it's just complete cloud cover up there. So I wanted to go ahead and show that. But I got to say, let's see. John is wondering how much snow in Longmont, and Tina is wondering how much in the Fort Collins area. So those are, you know, relatively close enough. I think that we could try to pinpoint that for them, Jess, if you got a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, yeah. So let's talk about those areas. The Northern Front Range starting to see snow, of course, before us. You can see that camera view from Horsetooth. It is completely socked in up there. That storm is underway for parts of the Front Range. And Loveland already starting to see some snow. Longmont is going to see that soon, if not already starting to see some light snowfall. And you can see the totals here. Places like Longmont are in that 3 to 6 inch range, and then stretching all the way up into Loveland and Fort Collins. So I think 3 to 6 inches pretty likely for those areas. It's going to be enough to create very messy road conditions. And with that being said, I want to break down the timing here for everybody on Futurecast. This is what we're going to be seeing as we head throughout the day today. And I want to back up the clock to right about now and show you guys what we're going to be seeing throughout the evening. So this is at 1 p.m. You can still see that snow centered off to the north and west of Denver. Now, as we walk through this here, you can see some of that snow starting in parts of Metro Denver by about 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. So if you need to run home for lunch, maybe you're walking the dog or you got to go let the dog out, you should be good to go for the next hour or so in Denver. You might see light snow starting to fall, but the roads are going to be okay. It's really the evening drive when we start to see a lot of that thicker, heavier snow build in. And this is around 3:45. You can see that snow covering almost the entire Front Range. It stretches down to Monument Hill, Castle Rock. The Palmer Divide is going to see that snow a little bit later than we will here in Denver. So around 2, 3 p.m., we will see that snow develop south. And for those of you who are watching who may not know what the Palmer Divide is, it's that area just south of Denver and north of Colorado Springs. It's that Douglas and Elbert County area that is a raise in elevation. So we see this play into a lot of snowfall forecast here because of the wind direction and upslope and downslope flow. So Monument Hill sits at about 7,500 feet. Meanwhile, here in Denver, we're at 5,280 feet. So that's sort of the difference, and that really plays into snow forecasting here. So for the rest of the evening, you can see that snow. It's heavy, Alex, from about 3 o'clock all the way until about 10 p.m. Then it starts to lighten up a little bit. So we have 7 hours, a 7-hour block of consistently heavy, widespread snow showers. And that's really when we're going to see most of the accumulation. We could hang on to a few in the overnight hours, but before the morning drive tomorrow, we are done with the snowfall.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get to a couple of more questions, and we still only have just for about 10 minutes here, folks, so continue to keep those questions coming, and we're going to try to get to as many as we can here on Fox 31 Now. But a couple of things that I can answer off the top. Melissa is wondering, what about flights leaving from DIA? So here is a live look at what the airport looks like right now, gray skies over there. But I can tell you, just looking at what's publicly available, FlightAware is a great resource for the airport. So far today, there have been 111 cancellations out of DIA, 72 delays as well, and you can expect those numbers to continue to rise because we haven't even seen snow fall at DIA yet. And again, we're expecting 7 hours of this stuff later on this evening. So just be aware of that. Keep tabs with your flight provider. If you do have a flight trying to leave out of the airport tonight, it may not be the best night to fly, just as a heads up. Tiara's wondering about possible school delays. I haven't seen any pop up just yet, but I want to take this opportunity also to make sure that you folks know, if you just go to kdvr.com, there's this big yellow bar towards the top saying closings, and that is where we on our digital team are constantly compiling a list of closings and delays, whether it's a business, whether it's a school, or what have you. And so right now we only have one active closing for Clinica, Colorado in Adams County. It's closing at 3 o'clock this evening. Those are going to keep on coming in and piling up, and our digital team is on it. We're going to continue to update folks with all of that content throughout the day. Let's see. So getting to a couple more. Brittany is wondering about stuff, how much out east, Jess, and I know that you and I have been talking about, we're not expecting too much on the eastern plains for this one. You know, maybe 1 or 2 inches. That was a forecast yesterday. Has that changed at all for those eastern plains communities?
Yeah, Alex, the numbers have been pretty consistent to what we were talking about yesterday. I would say about 1 to 3 inches possible out there. The further east you live, so if you're out towards Cheyenne, Kit Carson, Yuma, Sedgwick, and Phillips counties, really that Colorado, Nebraska, and Colorado, Kansas state line, you could only see maybe a dusting up to about 1 inch or 2 at the most. So the further east, the less snow you're going to see. As you start to get a little bit closer to the Front Range, you could potentially stack up 3 to 4 inches of snow. That goes for parts of eastern Adams and Arapahoe counties. Parts of southwest Weld County could certainly stack up amounts that high. And if you're up into the Greeley area, I think about 1 to 3 inches is what you are going to see up there. I know that's a bigger metro area in Weld County. And then we are going to be seeing across the I-70 corridor down towards Lyman, we could potentially stack up about 2 to 4 inches of snow. So a little bit more that direction. We will see some breezy winds across the eastern plains today as well. Those gusts up to about 25 miles per hour. So not terribly windy, but enough to create some visibility problems out there. And certainly 1 to 3 inches of snow could still create some slick road conditions, some icy roads, not only tonight, but for early tomorrow morning as well. So I want to give you a heads up for that.
Yeah, and Jess, you and I mentioned this yesterday on Fox 31 Now. Depending on what your commute looks like Thursday morning, we're dealing with, you know, overcast and foggy conditions in the morning. And we're also, as we know here in Colorado, those side streets are going to take a bit of a while to clear from this storm. And so it really depends on the routes that you take and the commute. So just keep that in mind, folks, if you're trying to prepare for your commute tomorrow morning. The commute this evening, certainly the one that we have our eyes on. And I know, Jess, you've been saying this, you know, for a couple days now. If you're able to get out of work early to try to get away from the brunt of this thing, definitely advisable. We here at Fox 31 can't really do that. We're going to be out and we're going to be on it, and we're going to make sure that you folks know about what the conditions are live on TV and online as well. I want to get to a couple more comments before Jess, we have to cut her loose so that she can continue to inform people on TV. Let's look at a swath in the north and west side of the Denver metro. Tiara's wondering about how much in Westminster. Vicky is wondering how much in Littleton, and Tina is wondering how much snow in Lakewood. So really, you know, northwest, west, and southwest of Denver. It looks like that side of I-25, we're expecting more snow than maybe some other areas like Aurora.
Correct. Yes. If you do live up on that west side, so places like Littleton, up into Arvada, Westminster, you're looking at closer to about 3 to 7, possibly even 8 inches of snow on the west side of town. So you're going to see some higher amounts than those areas off to the east of I-25. And it's all because of that wind direction. We do have what we call upslope wind playing into this forecast. So we are going to see that wind direction from east to west, and that does blow up the slopes of the mountains. It creates quite a bullseye right against the mountain, and you can really see that reflected in our totals here. Those darker contours, if you look west of I-25, that's where some of those higher totals will be. So downtown Denver, possibly closer to 2 to 5 inches of snow. As you head west, that goes up 3 to 7 likely, and then we are going to be seeing even higher amounts into the foothills. Again, we could see about 4 to 10 inches for the foothills. So Genesee, Evergreen, parts of Boulder County going to be seeing that. You can see this model bringing about 7 inches to Boulder. And I want to reiterate, when we look at maps like this, don't pay attention so much to the number, but pay attention to the range that we are telling you. So yes, this has downtown Denver at 5 inches of snow, but there's potential that downtown Denver only picks up 3 inches of snow. So try to keep those ranges in mind. I do have this graphic to sort of make it a little bit easier to see what the ranges are going to be. And you can see Metro Denver, about 2 to 4 inches of snow, potentially 5 in some areas. The foothills, 4 to 10 inches. And then that Palmer Divide, again, south of Metro Denver, picking up about 3 to 8 inches of snowfall. So those are sort of the ranges we're looking at. And the reason we have ranges like that is because of the terrain. As we know here, we have different elevations all across the Front Range, really different elevations. So that creates a wide variety of snowfall totals. We could see 2 inches out at the airport. Meanwhile, in Boulder, we have 10 inches of snowfall. So that's why we give ranges like that, is simply because of the elevation. And we talk about that a lot here, Alex.
Don't you just love trying to forecast this stuff in Colorado when we're dealing with different elevations and the weather's wacky as is? I mean, I can't imagine being in your position, Jess, trying to pinpoint this stuff. But you guys are consistently right when it comes to pinpointing the weather here, you and the rest of the Pinpoint Weather team. And so I just, again, folks, if you haven't thanked your local meteorologists going into this storm, now's the time for you to put those comments here on Facebook. We got just a couple more minutes with meteorologist Jessica LaBelle. One of the things that I'm thinking about, Jess, is when we see these snowstorms, especially when they're coming in from the north, down from like Wyoming, we tend to have some issues with I-25 between Fort Collins and Cheyenne. Jordan is specifically wondering about that corridor, Cheyenne to Denver. Now, you said that we're not going to be dealing with like monumental winds that I usually see shut down Fort Collins to the border on I-25, but it looks like there's going to be some pretty heavy totals up in that area. What do you think about just that road from Denver to Cheyenne?
Yeah, for sure, Alex. We do see that Cheyenne Ridge section of I-25 have a lot of problems on days like this. And notice how the wind is staying mostly up into the mountains west of I-25. So that's really good news. We're not seeing a lot of gusts there right now, but taking you back to satellite and radar, I want to zoom into that area. We actually have a heavy burst of snow, and that's indicated in the darker blue, moving in just north of Fort Collins. So that is just about to push into places like Wellington, Nunn, Alt. You're going to see that snow band pretty soon, and then eventually it'll push into Fort Collins a little bit further south. So that's some decently heavy snow, and that is going to make it really tough, Alex. So after that passes through, I'm expecting a little coating of snow already on the roadways, and then you can still see a lot of snow behind that to come. So it's not just that quick burst that they're going to see and then it stops. They're still going to see some snow showers that are stretching all the way up to Laramie. That's heading south and east, and we are going to see that over the next several hours in that area. So I can't rule out that there's going to be some pretty major travel troubles today. There is potential that we see closings on the highways if we see accidents or conditions turn bad enough. So if you do need to get from Fort Collins up into Cheyenne, best case scenario is either leave as soon as possible so those roads aren't bad yet, or of course wait until tomorrow morning when things could be a little bit better.
Always appreciate the advice from Pinpoint Weather meteorologist Jessica LaBelle. We talked about northern Colorado. Let's flip it to the southern side of the state. Some folks are wondering about the San Luis Valley, and then also Joe is asking about Trinidad. This is going to probably be the last question we're able to answer because in 7 minutes, Jess has got to be on TV. And so, Jess, let's talk about the southern part of the state and the impact there.
Yes, so I do want to show you guys this. I'll back up and show you sort of the timing if you do live down towards Alamosa, the San Luis Valley, any part of southern Colorado. It's going to take a little bit longer to see your snow showers, and we're expecting those mostly to come in the overnight hours. You can see just after midnight, 2 a.m. tomorrow, Alamosa starts to see that snowfall, and then you actually could see active snow falling during the morning drive on Thursday. While we start to dry out here in Denver and on the Front Range early tomorrow morning, you all still seeing that snow from Alamosa to Trinidad over into Pagosa Springs. Places like Gunnison could still be seeing that active snow in the morning, and then it starts to shift further south, pushes into New Mexico, and by about mid to late morning tomorrow, we're going to start to clear out and dry out, and then we will see sunshine returning by midday. So that's a little glimpse there, and I will show you a closer look here at some of the snowfall totals in that area. The San Luis Valley, of course, because you're in a valley, not expecting a ton of snow with this snowstorm. Anywhere from a dusting up to about 2 inches is pretty likely in that area. As you head further west, Pagosa Springs could stack up 2 to 3 inches of snow. You can see the Sangre de Cristos in that about 4 to 10 inch range. That's also what we're going to see for the Front Range Mountains just off to the west of the Front Range. So seeing some nice snowfall totals across the state, most of us picking up moisture out of this storm system, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, many thanks to our Pinpoint Weather team and especially meteorologist Jessica LaBelle for joining us here on Fox 31 Now. Jess, thank you so much. We'll catch you on TV in 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, Jessica LaBelle is going to continue our coverage later on tonight on Fox 31 News. You know, we have a lot of meteorologists that are going to be on it for us tonight on the Pinpoint Weather team. I'm going to go ahead and just, let's see, bring up a live shot of DIA while I wrap this thing up. But Jessica LaBelle and meteorologist Travis Michaels, they're going to be on the road and they're going to be mobile all across the state pretty much. We're going to have Chief Meteorologist Dave Frazier in. We're doing cut-ins on Fox 31 every 30 minutes. But then tonight at 6 o'clock, really when this storm is going to hit its peak here in the Mile High City and across the Denver Metro, we're going to have a special edition of Fox 31 Now. We're going to be streaming, as we always do, at KDVR.com, the Fox 31 app, and also on our Facebook page, where we are going to bring you extended live coverage of this storm. Of course, you can tune in on Fox 31 News at 4 and 5, but if you haven't gotten enough of snow reporting at that point, you can check us out on Fox 31 Now at 6 o'clock, and we're going to have the biggest news team that Colorado has to offer. They're going to be out in it, and they're going to be showing you live and local pictures of the impact of the storm, the totals in your community as well. And of course, again, I can't say enough about the people on our weather team, the Pinpoint Weather team. This is like Super Bowl Sunday for them every time there's a snowstorm in this state, because we want to make sure we are giving you accurate forecasts so that you can prepare your day and plan ahead to make sure that you're safe. And this is why we call these Pinpoint Weather Alert Days, is because we know that the weather is going to have an impact on your day. So really appreciate all you folks for tuning in to Fox 31 Now. Let's see if I can get a couple other cameras that I can just kind of cycle through. So let's see, we got a live look right now over the Mile High City. You can see it's gray, it's gloomy, there's a storm brewing, and it is certainly coming and on its way down to downtown Denver. I appreciate all you folks for tuning in, and again, if you want to stream us on Fox 31 News at 4 o'clock, you could always watch that at KDVR.com and the Fox 31 app. For you folks who are wondering about school closures, again, you're going to be able to find that information right here at KDVR.com. That's going to do it for me here on Fox 31 Now. I'm Alex Rose. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you at 6 o'clock here on Fox 31 Now.